Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today I will be going to start a new chapter of the IED, that is environment and sustainable development. First of all, you know the environment meaning, students. Meaning of environment, when we come to know, it is the surrounding and the place which facilitate us to survive. All the natural features that help us to survive, that makes an environment. Okay. Sustainable development says we know that whatever facilities we are having there, it will come to an end as we are not making proper utilization of resources properly. The resources which we gain for our use, like water, we know water is the maximum part of our earth surface covered of water, but that whole water is not useful for our drinking purpose. Only 1% water of the sea is useful for drinking purpose, and it comes as a source of water for drinking. So we can understand the importance of that. So if we are not utilizing this source of water properly, definitely our future generation will not be able to get a proper source for survival. So if we are making this source of energy useful for future generation also, we are making a proper use of the resources which is available with us for the future generation. It is known as sustainable development. Okay, so let us see from the book point definition of environment. When we goes with the meaning of environment, student, it states that it is defined as a total planetary inheritance and the totality of all the resources which makes the life possible. That is known as environment. Okay, it includes all the biotic and the abiotic factors that influence each other. Biotic elements are all living elements, example the birds, animals, plants, forests, etc., which makes the biotic components. Abiotic elements like air, water, land, rocks, sunlight, etc. compose of abiotic factors. A study of the environment then calls for a study of a interrelationship between biotic and abiotic factors, components of the environment. When we go with the environment definition, students, it is very clear. All the biotic and abiotic factors comprises and constitute the environment in which we all are surviving. Functions and role of environment, when we see, students, the very first function or role you can say of environment is environment supplies resources. Resources include both renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, when we talk, these are those which can be used without the possibility of the resource becoming depleted or exhausted. In other words, a continuous supply of the resource remains available. Examples of renewable resources are trees in the forest and fish in the ocean. Non-renewable resources are those which get exhausted with extraction and use. Example, fossil fuels. So environment supplies resources, we all know. Resources will be, as it is already stated, all the resources which is needed for the life to be possible in our earth is through the way of environment. Here two types of resources are there. We came to know the renewable and non-renewable. Renewable, we have learned the possibility of the resource becoming depleted or exhausted is there. Okay. So those are which can be used without the possibility of resource becoming depleted. It means it can be regenerated. That source of resources are known as renewable, as the name is renewed. Non-renewable, that's a resource which cannot be regenerated. Once it gets exhausted, it cannot be obtained again. Example, fossil fuels. Environment sustains life. Environment includes sun, oil, soil, water and air, which are essential ingredients for the sustenance of human life. The carrying capacity of the environment implies that the resource extraction is not above the rate of generation of the resources, and the waste generated are within the assimilating capacity of the environment. Carrying capacity of the environment helps to sustain life. Absence of carrying capacity of environment means absence of life. What this particular paragraph states: environment sustains life. First of all, what do you mean by carrying capacity? Carrying capacity, what it has been explained, it helps to sustain life. Means a power by which now also life is possible and in the future also the life will be possible. That itself is known as carrying capacity. Absence of carrying capacity environment means absence of life. Definitely, if water which we are having now is not properly utilized, as it is not renewable, it is non-renewable resource, because whatever it is there, it is like that. It cannot be increased by any other means. Rain water will increase the source of water, but we are knowing same way we are also more proportion we are wasting the water in our day-to-day activities. So that way we are seeing definitely the proportion of water consumption will be less as compared to water expenditure. So that way we are seeing definitely life in future life cannot be possible, but environment sustains life. It makes the things to be possible in the future time also if we are making proper utilization of this environment, that is the sun, soil, water and air. Environment assimilates water. Production and consumption activities generate waste. This occurs mostly in the form of garbage. Environment absorbs the garbage. What it says, environment is useful. The role of environment, what it does, it helps us to make the proper utilization of the resources, as whatever waste we are, like dead body of the peoples that is decayed inside the soil, and it gets mixed with the soil. After long period of time it get exhausted. That way that damaged body, if it is, or the dead body of the animals and the plants or the human beings will be lying over the ground, it will be creating many diseases on the ground surface. People will not be able to survive, but this environment help us to make the decay and waste and things to be mixed with the particular environment, and it observes it so that our life will be possible. Next, environment enhance quality of life. Environment includes oceans, mountains, deserts, etc. Man enjoys these surroundings, adding to the quality of life. Environment enhances the quality of life. Global environment issues, when we talk, there are many global environment issues. These are global warming, ozone depletion, environmental crisis, rise in opportunity cost of negative environmental impacts, supply demand reversal of environment resources, massive overuse and misuse of environmental resources. These are the global environmental issues which we are seeing there. Global warming, when we see, students, very first topic, the global environmental issues, when we see, global warming is a gradual increase in the average temperature of the Earth's lower atmosphere as a result of the increasing greenhouse gases due to industrialization in recent times. So global environmental issue says that definitely what we are seeing, suddenly we are getting too much high temperature, high humidity. Sometimes it happens, temperature suddenly increases and sometimes it decreases. Like winter season, it is going on decreasing, but not as compared to past years, it is too much cold. What is there? Not the natural factor. It is the human effort. It is the human activity which has been undergone and converted this type of activities to be done. So this is a result of and this is one of the things, that is global warming. Global warming is gradually increasing in the average temperature of the Earth's lower atmosphere as a result of the increasing greenhouse gases due to industrialization in recent times. We are seeing now in our state also, as the industrialization has been increased, we are seeing the effects on our environment. As we are seeing if we are having the summer season, it is too hot, and in the winter season it is too cold. Not like the usual what we are having, it is too much. We never expected this in our life. So these are just the results of global warming. Most of the global warming has been caused by man-made increase in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases through the burning of fossil fuels and deforestations. Now the pandemic situation, after that it has been grown up too much high. Global warming is mainly caused by burning of coal and petroleum products. Like petroleum, it is not needed that burning of coal and petroleum products will be done. Now many vehicles are there run through the way of petrols. When it is run by the petrols and it is used, has modernization as there, has more and more good technology came with that, various effects of that good technology also came, and that one of the effect is global warming. Deforestation, when we do, definitely you can see more and more buildings are constructed, more and more construction work started, as for that deforestation are done. For deforestation, it doesn't mean only the forest area, it means our surrounding area also it is cut and cleaned out, so that more and more buildings, restaurants will be formed. And when there will be no trees, who will how the bad air will be absorbed. So therefore that forestation is needed, but deforestation is increasing, has to increase the number of buildings and other purpose. Release of methane gas from animal waste, has nowadays animals has methane gas is released by the animals, but now it has been increased because just because animals are not getting the proper food, and they are just eating the polythenes and other things which are creating more worse for their life, for their stomach, as well as it is creating the more methane gas to be released from their body. Increase cattle production, that are all the important, that all are the things global warming is mainly caused by. In 1992, the Earth Summit has a framework convention on climate change, for a few warnings have been seriously ignored. Climatic changes pose threat to human development, while outcomes of global warming will vary across regions and within the countries. Some long-term results of global warming, which can be predicted are melting of polar ice caps with a resulting rise in the sea level and coastal flooding, disruption of drinking water supplies as snow melts, extinction of species, frequent tropical storms and tropical diseases. Agricultural and rural development will bear the brunt of climate risk. Extreme poverty and malnutrition will increase as water insecurity rises. I already said why water insecurity will arise for us. So these are the various causes, students, we are seeing there. In 1992, from now 2022 also we can see the outcomes of the global warming, what we are facing now. As diseases number are increasing, the seasons are not too good, favorable for our survivals. It is creating like earlier it was need for that climatic changes must be there, but it now how it is so surprising for the peoples to survive in the country. So these are the various ill effects of having global warmings. A UN conference on climate change held in Kyoto, Japan in 1997 resulted in an international agreement to fight global warming, which called for reduction in emissions of greenhouse gases by industrialized nations, called Kyoto Protocols. Ozone depletion, when we talk, student, what do you mean by ozone depletion? A ozone layer is there. A ozone layer is there which will be helping us to protect ourselves from the direct coming ultraviolet rays of the sun. It helps to reduce the number of cancers and other types of diseases to be increased when the sun rays will be directly falling on the earth. So this ozone layer which is to be needed is depleting. It means it is decreasing. It refers to the phenomena of reduction in the amount of ozone in the stratosphere. There are different layers of atmosphere we know of the earth. So stratosphere, where the ozone layer is there, it is getting depleted. If it get depleted, definitely we have to suffer from the various causes. Ozone layer protect the earth from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. The depletion of ozone layer has been caused by high levels of chlorine and bromine compounds in the stratosphere. The origin of this compound is chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Chlorofluorocarbons are used as cooling agent in air conditioner or refrigerators, or as aerosol propellants, and bromofluorocarbons, halogens, is used as fire extinguisher. Means you can see the importance of it. Long run effect of ozone depletion are it causes skin cancer in human being. Now you can see now cancer patients are increasing. Why it is happening just now? Because the safety jacket which we were having, that is the ozone layer, is getting depleted now. Because of that, the not only the sun rays but even the poisonous gases which is not come to us is coming in the atmosphere, in which It must not be there. It is causing many type of diseases. It lowers the production by phytoplankton and other aquatic organism. It lowers the growth of terrestrial plants. Plants are not able to survive in this type of environment. The Montreal Protocol is an international treaty designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of a number of substances believed to be responsible for ozone depletion. It banned the use of compounds containing ozone depleting chemicals. Environmental crisis. When we see student, today the world is facing environmental crisis. The rising population of the developing countries and the affluent consumption and production standards of the developed would have put a great stress on the environment in terms of its functions of supplying resources and assimilating waste. What we have understood from this line, environmental crisis. Environmental crisis means what the terrible effect of what we are facing through the way of this type of environmental issues. We are familiar, even the children are now familiar what are the ill effects of the environment which has been created by in the last 20 to 30 years, or in the future also it is getting created. As much development and progress we are getting, the same way we are affecting to the life of the peoples. Not only the peoples, even every things which is existing in this environment. Rising population is one of the reason, as it is not having any control. Though we have the remedy of 2 children, but still the population has been increasing. And the affluent consumption and production standard of the developed world, that is a new technology, the new way of working, that is disturbing the environment. Many resources have become extinct and the waste generated are beyond the absorptive capacity of the environment. Absorptive capacity means the ability of the environment to absorb the degradation. The result is that today we are at the threshold of environmental crisis, like Yamuna and the Ganga water crisis. Also, you can come to you can add in this particular. It is government is putting efforts and effort, but still people of Delhi is facing Delhi and other states are facing problem where the source of water is Ganga and Yamuna, because the water is not well. We cannot say the water is become poisonous for the life of the people. If they will be having different types of dangerous diseases caused to them. So that are the various ill effects of the environmental crisis. Rise in opportunity cost of negative environment impacts. Definitely opportunity will be given not to positive environment but to negative environment. Opportunity cost is the cost of alternative opportunity given up. The country has to pay huge amount for damages done to human health. The health costs due to degraded environmental quality have resulted in diseases like asthma, cholera, etc. If we talk about this disease, asthma and cholera, it is now that numbers can be counted, but now the numbers cannot be counted, because in every home 1 or 2 patients we will be getting of this type of diseases, especially of asthma, which is just created because of polluted air. Supply demand reversal or environmental resources. The demand for resources for both production and consumption has gone beyond the rate of degradation, regeneration of the resources, increasing the pressure on the absorptive capacity of the environment. This reversal of the supply demand relationship with demand for resources exceeding the supply has led to the degeneration of the environment. So supply demand reversal of environmental resources are there. As we know, as compared to supply must be always equals to demand, but now the supply is more of the ill powers which must not be there in the environment. Massive overuse and misuse of environmental resources. One of the overuse I had said about the water, as the people thinks the whole the maximum portion of the earth is covered with water, so water is easily available, but may I think it is wrong. Maximum people thinks air we breathe is easily available as it is natural resource, but it is the wrong thing. If it is filtered, oxygen is there, then we can survive, but if the carbon dioxide effluents will be more in the air in which we are surviving, definitely our life will come to an end. So overuse of anything is very worst, we know very well. There is massive overuse and misuse of environmental resources. Example of overuse of environmental resources are deforestation and land degradation. Example of misuse of environmental resources are ozone depletion and global warming. State of India's environment when we talk, students. These were the particular points which we are saying about the ozone depletions, the main global environmental issues which were global warming, ozone depletion rate, environmental crisis, rise in opportunity cost of negative environmental impacts, supply demand reversal of environmental resources. Massive overuse and massive misuse of environmental resources are the various causes of global warming, global environmental issues. Now we will be going to see state of India's environment. Okay. Rich natural resources in India. India has rich quality of natural resources in plenty, we know very well from the beginning, but now it has been reduced. It is clear from the following point, student. India has rich quality of soil, hundreds of rivers and tributaries, lush green forests, abundant mineral deposits under the land surface, vast stretch of Indian oceans, mountain ranges, etc. The black soil of the Deccan Plateau is particularly suitable for cultivation of cotton. It has led to concentration of textile industries in this region. The Indo-Gangetic plains spread from the Arabian Sea to the Bay of Bengal are one of the most fertile, intensively cultivated and densely populated regions in the world. Sorry. India's forests provide green cover for a majority of its population and natural cover for its wildlife. Definitely because of that, India's forests are green. But deforestation is decreasing this merit. Large deposits of iron ore, coal and natural gas are found in the country. India alone accounts for nearly 20% of the world's total iron ore reserves. Bauxite, copper, chromate, diamonds, gold, lead, lignite, manganese, uranium, etc. are also available in different parts of the country. So these are the various natural resources of our country, student. Rich natural resources what available in India I had learned. I read for you people. There is natural resources plenty of now in our country. That problem not came that we have to purchase water, we have to get the, but we are getting the facility of water purifier we can have at home, and we can convert our home water into purified. India's rich quality of soil is there, we know that's why India is good in agriculture, as well as many natural resources are there in India for that from outer side country demand is there. Black soil of the Deccan Plateau gives enough facility to grow cotton, more and more cotton. Indo-Gangetic plains spread from the Arabian Sea to it means making our soil to be more fertile, but now it is becoming a problem for our country. India's forests provide green covers for a majority of its population, we know. So these are the various environmental things. Next class we will be going to learn dictonomy of the threat to India's environment. Thank you for today's class. Have a nice day.